Hi, everybody. This is Michelle Goldstein, and today's practice, courage, is a quintessential element in heart alchemy yoga. So in order to live a path in love, in truly living and coming from a loving place, it's so important to be courageous because it's terrifying, actually. It can be terrifying to be vulnerable and open in this world. So courage, just for the record, is not the opposite of fear. It's actually the evolution of it. So bear that in mind as you come to your mat and come onto your knees and make your way into child's pose, please. Begin to deepen your breath in and out through your nose. So the notion of being fearless, it's just a notion. It's not really human to be fearless. It's totally natural to be scared. But when we move into our breathing practice, it's actually possible to move through fear, maybe not easily, but certainly more smoothly. When you're ready, come up to your hands and knees and press yourselves back to downward facing dog. So in this practice today, we'll warm up to do some arm balances, which can be a test of courage. May I suggest you be extra special gentle with yourself. And if you become overwhelmed with fear, let that be okay as well. It's just totally okay to be who you are. But to be honest about what you're dealing with is really a powerful means to succeed in the world. Just be really honest with yourself, and then you can work with what you've got. Lift your right leg, please. Inhale. Now, as you exhale, bring your right knee into your chest. Shift to plank. Good. Inhale, lift your right leg straight back and up. Now exhale, hug your right knee into your chest, round through the upper back. One more time, lift your right leg, inhale. Good, exhale, hug your right knee all the way into your chest. Good, hug your right knee in a lot, like feel the core activate. Nice. Set your right foot down at the front of your space, please. I know it's kind of early, we're diving right in here. Sit the hips down and actually set your left knee down on the mat. And take the arms up for a low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Soften your shoulders. Lift the pubic bone up. Soften your lower ribs into your back ribs. So hug all of this in. There you go. And then sit down 1 more inch, inhale. Good. Exhale, release your hands down to your mat. Tuck your back toes. Step back, downward facing dog pose. Beautiful. Inhale to plank position. And exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog pose. So I would definitely say that this is a good practice if you've been practicing for a little while. Just to throw that in there, it's more of a level 2, 3 flow. Lift your left leg, inhale. Exhale, hug your left knee into your chest. Inhale, back to down dog, lift the left leg. And with your breath, exhale, the left knee hugs into your chest. Nice. Inhale 1 more time, lift the left leg, keep the hips level. Good, exhale, the left knee hugs into the chest. And the idea here is to contract the abdominal muscles and flex the abdominal wall. So hug the left knee in more, round through the upper back. Good, now set your left foot down at the front of your space. Good, sink the hips, lower the right knee, take the arms up. Good, deepest breath, slide the shoulders away from the ears, and begin to take the wrists back a little bit so the heart lifts a little more. And the frontal hip points lift, lower ribs soften in. And 1 more breath. Beautiful. Release the hands down, tuck the back toes. Step back, downward dog. Inhale to plank position. Good. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale back to downward facing dog pose. So push the floor away from you and firm up your triceps. This will be important in your arm balances as well. So you want to press the inner hands down, firm the triceps into the biceps, lift the belly, lift the heels as you inhale, and as you exhale, look forwards and walk, or if you're feeling like it, you can hop your feet up to your hands. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold into your legs. Good. Inhale, rise up to stand, reach the arms. And exhale, the palms connect at the heart. Good. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, step or jump back to chaturanga. Over the toes, inhale, up dog. Hug the elbows and shoulder heads draw back. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Deep, deep breath. One of my favorite things about my yoga practice is that I often find that I'm doing something on my mat that I never would have thought that I could do before I actually did it. So we often show ourselves that we're far more courageous than we would have thought before we stepped into the scenario whatever scenario we're in. So to get out of our head about what we think we can do and cannot do is really powerful, because honestly, the sky is the limit. Inhale, lift the heels up. Exhale, walk or hop your feet up. It's just a matter of getting out of our own way. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, forward fold. Rise up to stand. Inhale, reach the arms. And exhale, the palms connect at the heart. Good. One more time. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, step or jump back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Good. Exhale back, downward facing dog pose. Good. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out your mouth. Lift your right leg, please. Inhale. And as you exhale, hug your right knee into your chest and set your right foot down at the front of your space. Good. Come up to crescent pose, please. Take a moment to align your pelvis. So ideally, the pelvic bowl sits directly under the rib cage. They stack, right? Like two halves of an eggshell. This is perfect. Inner thighs engage. Shoulders soften. Good. Breath deep. One more breath, sit down into it. And exhale, release the hands down. And step back to down dog split. Lift the right leg up, open the right hip, bend the right knee. Good. Sink the right shoulder down a little bit so that the upper back stays stable. Good. And make sure both hands press evenly on the ground. Good. Now square off your hips. Again, right knee to the chest. And plank. Inhale, both legs straight back. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Good. Inhale, upward dog. Then exhale back to downward facing dog pose. Beautiful. Lift your left leg up as you inhale. And as you exhale, hug your left knee into your chest. And set your left foot down at the front of your space. Good. Come up to crescent pose, please. Align your pelvis and your ribs, and then the space between the pelvis and the ribs is your core, so engage that as well. Without being too rigid about it, so engage, soften at the same time. Feel the left thigh sink down into its socket. Slide the shoulders down the back. Engage the triceps here as well. One more breath in, heart lifting. And exhale, release your hands down. Good. Step back to downward dog pose. Left leg lifts up. Open the left hip. Bend your left knee. Stabilize the upper back. Savor the stretch. And square off your hips. And bring your left knee back into your chest. Beautiful. Plank position, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward dog, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Good. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale, bring your feet to your hands. So we're gonna do a little Bakasana flow here. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold in half. Bend your knees, come to chair pose. Bakasana is crow pose. Okay, so from here, you're gonna bring the palms together in front of you. Place your hands down on your mat. Open the knees. Stack your knees up onto your triceps. Try it. Start to lift maybe one foot, maybe the other foot. Good, breathing deeply here. These won't be long holds. You're just gonna kind of get into crow as best you can. And if you can't, you can step back. Otherwise, hop back to chaturanga. Good. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Good. Step your right foot up to your hands. Please come up, warrior one pose. One breath, inhale, rise up. And exhale, release the hands down, step to plank, lower down. Good, inhale, upward dog. Exhale, back, downward dog pose. Left foot steps through, warrior one. Come up, inhale, rise up. And exhale, release the hands, step back to plank and lower. Good, up dog, inhale. Beautiful, exhale, back, downward facing dog. A deep breath. Feel your heartbeat in your chest. And begin to synchronize the beat of your heart with your deep, steady breathing. So they're not going at the same rate, but it's rhythm and melody. Inhale, the heels lift. Exhale, float your feet up to your hands. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Come to chair pose. Inhale, bend the knees. Good. The palms connect at the heart. And make your way into crow pose. Pop up onto the toes, plant the palms. Stack the knees up onto the triceps. Just try. Take a chance. Why not? And if it doesn't pan out, cool. But if it does, maybe you get up there, start to hug the heels up towards your hips. And hop back as you're ready to chaturanga, or step back. Good. Up dog, inhale. Good. Downward dog, exhale. Right foot steps through, back heel spins flat, warrior one. Inhale, come up. Good. Exhale, release. Hands down, step to plank, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot lunge, come up. Warrior one, inhale. And release, vinyasa. So just for the record, you could live your whole life and never get into crow pose. You could live your whole life and never jump from crow to chaturanga and live a perfectly fulfilling, happy life. So just keep the perspective on what we're doing. We're just playing here. It's funny because I've taught kids yoga before, and kids, when they're trying these things, are falling and laughing, and they think it's hilarious, actually, when they're falling. And adults, for some reason, it becomes this very serious thing. So bear in mind that maintaining the spirit of childhood in old age, Aldous Huxley said this, is the secret of genius. So just keep the spirit of youth. Like, it's just fun, and whatever happens, happens. All that does is keep you open, your mind open. Inhale, lift the heels up. Exhale, float your feet up to your hands. So we're going to try this one more time. Lengthen, inhale. Fold in, exhale. Bend your knees, chair pose, inhale. Exhale, the palms meet at the heart, just to remember why we're here, right? And then come into crow. Try it. As you warm up, maybe it starts to work out a little better for you. Maybe not. Maybe you wobble, maybe you fall. Maybe you lift the pelvic floor, lift the heels up, and you're in the balance here. And chaturanga when you're ready. Nice. Move through your flow. These ladies are making it look easy, just for the record, okay? Step your right foot up to your hands, come up, warrior one. Warrior one. Inhale. And exhale, release the hands down, step back, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot steps through, back heel spins flat, warrior one pose. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Plank, lower. Upward facing inhale. Good. Downward facing exhale. Good. Another deep breath in through your nose. Ha. Lift your right leg, please. Inhale. Exhale, the right foot steps through. Come up, warrior one pose. Good. Open up to warrior two on your exhale. Reverse warrior, biggest inhale. And side angle pose as you exhale. Any variations that you like. So this is perfect because we've got all different variations. You can take your forearm, your right forearm to your right thigh. You can take your right fingertips down to the ground like Annie's doing here. But whatever you do, do it breathing. Align your feet so the back heel turns out a little bit, back toes turn in. Keep the pelvis and the rib cage stacked in this pose as well. Even though the ribs start to spiral open, the heart spirals open. And feel your feet on the ground. So bear this in mind as well. The parts of you on the ground are the foundation of the pose. So stabilize the base. When you're balancing on your hands, the hands are the base. When you're on your feet, plant them down. Good. Lift the arches of the feet. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Good. Now come up to warrior two pose. One more time. Reverse warrior. Big inhale. Sweep up and back. And exhale, release the hands down to your mat. Step to plank pose. Pause here for a moment. Bring your feet together, please. Roll to the outer left foot. Reach the right arm up. Okay, so we'll say stage one, stay here. Stage two, take your right foot to tree pose. Good, lift the hips up. Stage three, hook the right big toe with your two pointer fingers and extend the right leg up to the ceiling. Good. Still breathing deeply. Stage four, you just completely levitate up off the ground. Right? Who says you can't? It's all in the mind, right? Now come to full vashi, both legs straight. Firm the belly, come to plank. Pause in plank pose, inhale. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Good. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog pose. Lift your left leg, please. Inhale. Exhale, left foot steps through to lunge. Come up, warrior one. Open up to warrior two. Reverse warrior, inhale. Side angle pose, exhale. Good. Deep breath. Perhaps the only reason that we're not levitating is because we don't believe that we actually can. So again, just get out of your own mind. Get out of your mind and into your higher mind. Get out of the small mind, get into the higher mind. Because our highest self, when we're truly coming from a loving place, there is no fear. So fear and love are really opposites. At the same time, you can experience fear and with a loving, courageous heart, move through it. And oftentimes when we do this, we find that it's not so scary the next time. And so this is how we continually grow and expand into the heart of love. Establish your foundation, establish your center, find the lift of the heart spiral open. Beautiful. Come up warrior 2 pose. Reverse warrior, inhale. And exhale, release your hands down, step to plank. Good. Bring your feet together, roll to the outer right foot. Left arm lifts up. Good. You're in side plank. Maybe stage 2, you take the left foot to tree. Maybe stage 3, you hook the left big toe and extend the left leg up. Good. Breathing. And just because you did it on one side doesn't mean you need to do it on the other. So again, just let go of any preconceived notions or agendas within your practice and just let it be. Allow it to be light. Allow it to be enjoyable. Allow it to flow. So good. One more breath. Lift up out of it. Nice. Now release the left leg if it was lifted and come to plank. And either back to down dog or take a vinyasa. Good. Again, feel your heartbeat in your chest. This is like validation that you're alive. And it is a gift. It is a gift to be alive. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, walk or hop your feet up. Good. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, fold in. Good. Bend your knees, come to chair pose. Good. Bring the palms together in front of your heart. Good. Lift your left knee up. Lift your left knee up. Beautiful. Deeply breathing here. Extend your left leg straight back to warrior 3. Lengthen your spine. Take your shoulder heads back, shoulder blades together without collapsing the chest. So hug the lower ribs in, spread your toes. See if you can point your left toes down. One more breath. Now bend your right knee again, step back to warrior 1 pose. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Lift your heart, inhale. Exhale, fold forwards. Humble warrior, which is maybe one of my favorite names that we've made up for one of these poses, humble warrior. Like, what does that even mean? To have humility is helpful in having courage. It means you're seeing yourself. You're allowing yourself to be human. And to be a warrior takes great courage. To be a warrior doesn't mean you go out killing people. That's what a murderer does, actually. A warrior means that you're stepping into the world vulnerable, alive, awake, courageous. No matter what comes at you, you're still present, right? You're unfettered by whatever's happening around you. Come up, warrior 1 pose. Inhale. Good. Open up to warrior 2. Good. Press your right leg straight, triangle pose. Deeply breathing here, deeply breathing. It's a strong practice, this practice. Stabilize the center. So stabilize the base, stabilize the center. These are good, just sort of all around cues that can help you, just principles that can help you in all of your postures and all of your life. So all of life is really a vinyasa, right? It's the linking of breath and movement. And we're always moving and we're always breathing. So to do so mindfully, to do so with integrity, it transforms the experience. Come up, warrior 2 pose. Deeply breathing, soften your shoulders. Hug the inner thighs in towards each other. And for just a moment, turn to face your left arm. Good. Because a warrior going into battle, if they were just looking in one direction, would be killed like immediately. So we're waking up the awareness of everything everywhere, which means that we're letting go of what we think we know. Reverse warrior, inhale, look up towards your right arm now. And exhale, release your hands down to your mat. Step back to plank, vinyasa. Back to downward dog. Sometimes a couple of mouth exhales when things start to get intense. You can let go of that intensity or allow it to flow through you as opposed to holding on to it. Let it go. Heels lift, inhale. Exhale, bring your feet to your hands. You're doing amazing, you guys. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, fold in. Bend your knees, come to chair pose. Beautiful. The palms connect in front of the heart. Lift your right foot up. Good. Feel how the hips are level here. See if you can keep them level as you extend the right leg back to warrior three pose. I was just talking to a friend about how I would never let anybody photograph me in this pose because it's so challenging, right? So, it's like to get it really aligned in a yoga journal style fashion, in a yoga magazine style fashion. Don't worry about that. Let that go. It's not for a photo. It's the experience. Bend your left knee. Step the right foot straight back behind you. Come up, warrior one pose. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Heart lifting, inhale. Good, fold forwards, exhale, humble warrior pose. So we're cool-headed, let your head drop, and warm-hearted. Cool-headed and warm-hearted, deeply breathing. In fact, the Udaya breath that we breathe in yoga does cool the central nervous system as it warms the body. So it literally is cooling our mind, it's cooling our head, and warming our heart at the same time. It's the only breath work that I'm aware of that actually has two thermal natures. Most of them are either one, cooling or warming. So we're finding an inner harmony, an inner alchemy that's transforming everything into love. Come up, warrior one. Open up, warrior two. Left leg straight. Triangle pose. With the breath, make your way in. Sometimes the posture feels like a relief when you first get into it. And then when you're in it for a few moments, it starts to heat up. Just with deep appreciation. This is tapas. Tapas in Sanskrit, it means that the effort, the burning effort, the zeal, the enthusiasm that drives our practice. And in direct translation from Sanskrit, tapas translates to heat. So we are building heat in our practice, and in doing so, it's like a steam clean. We're purifying. It's a steam clean for the body, the mind, the heart, the spirit, and energetically. So hug the left hip in towards the right heel, that's it. And spread your toes, work the inner left foot down. Beautiful. Come up to warrior two pose. Warrior two. So take a few breaths here looking forwards, like the way that you know you're supposed to look, or the way that somebody told you is the way that you look in warrior two. And then turn towards your right arm. Like, why not? Why one way and not the other way? And if you get a kink in your neck when you look back, then by all means, turn it back the other way. But be willing to step outside the box. Be willing to look outside of what you're told to do. Learn the rules first and then, challenge them from time to time. Take the right hand to the right leg, sweep up and back, reverse warrior. Look up towards your left arm, and to exhale, release your hands down, step to plank, and lower chaturanga. So I'm not saying go out and break the law, just for the record. I'm just saying, be willing to look outside the rules that you've made up in your own mind about the way things need to be. Be willing to step outside of that. It's best to obey the law and to make wise choices based on what you know. Just a little disclaimer for the video here. Lift your right leg, please. Inhale. Now exhale, the right foot steps through to lunge. Come up to crescent pose, please. Good. Again, bring the palms together in front of your heart. Again, step up to warrior 3, this time from the back of the mat, just a different perspective. Lengthen your spine, shoulder blades together. Good. Now from here, release your hands down. So just a few breaths here. You're in standing split. Press the inner right foot down, spread your toes. So we're going to try a few hops up into handstand from here, if you're feeling it. Now look, if you're kind of over all this courage stuff, or maybe you're just feeling like it's more courageous to rest, then skip it. But if you like, maybe try to plant the palms down in front of your right foot and try to take a few hops up. Maybe you lift the left leg up. Good. And maybe you start to kick up into the balance. That's it. Sometimes I like to kick up with one leg and land on the other leg. I'm right here. From the root. That's it. All right. Go ahead and step back. Down dog. Inhale, plank. Good. Exhale, chaturanga, like it never even happened, right? Inhale, upward facing dog. Just wipe the slate clean. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Again, you could live your whole life and never balance in a handstand and live a very fulfilling life. People do it all the time. Lift your left leg, inhale. Exhale, left foot steps through to lunge, come up to crescent pose. It's about the quality of our life. It's not, the quality of our yoga, the quality of your yoga practice be a reflection of the quality of your life and vice versa. Palms connect at the heart. Step up to warrior 3 pose. At the same time, it's nice to have motivation and inspiration, and there's always some place to move towards, always. The path is infinite. Release your hands down, standing split. Just take a couple moments here and feel the left foot on the floor and feel the stretch, wherever you feel the stretch, probably along the back of the left leg. And you start to plant the palms, and maybe you try to kick up into handstand. I'm right here if you want to maybe kick up. Yeah, that's good. All right. Nice, you guys. Step back, downward dog pose. Beautiful work, everybody. Inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Good. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Good. Deep breath in and out. Lift the heels, inhale. Exhale, float your feet up to your hands. Lengthen, inhale. Fold, exhale. Bend your knees, come to chair pose. Bring your palms together in front of your heart and cross your left ankle over your right ankle. Or pardon me, your left ankle over your right thigh. That'll much better. So you're in half chair pose, half chair pose. We're gonna set up for flying pigeon, Eka Pada Galavasana. Some of you will stay here. Let this be stage 1 for you. Stage 2, bend the right knee a little more and start to take the hands down to the floor in front of you. Good, still breathing, right? Don't get ahead of yourself. There's no agenda here. Okay, stage 3, you start to hook that left foot around the right triceps. And deeply breathing, maybe you start to lift the right foot up off of the floor. Good. Engage the core, from the pelvic floor, lift, and maybe you extend that right leg back. Good. Relax your face. Be gentle with yourself. It takes courage. If you're terrified, that's great. Try it. Try it. Good. And step back to plank or come back up to stand. It's your choice. You can take a vinyasa or come up to stand in Tadasana at the front of your mat. And just allow yourself to be really present and let everything that's happened up until this very moment right now go. And we'll meet in Tadasana when you're ready. Everything that's about to happen, it hasn't happened yet. Be fully here. Bend your knees, come to chair pose. The palms connect at the heart, and the right ankle stacks over the left thigh. Good. Bend your left knee. Okay, so you're in half chair to start. And stage 2, maybe you start to take the hands down to the ground. Right, no agenda, you're just in this setup here. Stage 3, hook the right foot around the left triceps. Hug those triceps in towards each other. Lifting the pelvic floor will help you. Lifting the navel in and up will help you. And then maybe you lift the left foot up. Right, so it's more about counterbalance than it is about upper body strength. So bear this in mind, that it's just about finding balance. If you can practice downward dog, then you have the strength. And if you can practice pigeon pose, then you definitely have the range of motion to get you into this posture. Now get out of your own way. You know, where are you resisting right now, and how can you let go of that to receive the experience? When you're ready, release, either to Tadasana or to downward dog pose. And if you're standing at the front of your mat, inhale, reach the arms up. If you're in down dog, stay there. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lengthen out. And exhale, vinyasa, step or jump back. This is a lot of arm balancing in one practice. So also, we're just going to practice one more. Set your knees down on your mat. Cross your ankles behind you. Cross your ankles behind you, sit onto your bottom. Good. Straighten your legs out wide to the side. We'll take Upavishta Konasana. We're going to warm up for Asta Vrikshasana, but first fold forwards. We're going to try one more arm balance, but first let's go ahead and warm up the backs of the legs a little more. And allow your heart rate to come down, and to allow yourself to get centered and present, and allow the breath to deepen. Okay, walk yourselves up. From here, go ahead and put a little bend in your right knee. Your left leg still extending out to the left. Okay. You're going to go ahead and lift up your right foot and cradle it like a baby for a minute. Okay, good. And from here, slide the left leg in front of you. And we're going to play with compass pose from here. So you're going to take your right leg over your right shoulder. Your right hip will lift, probably for a moment. That's okay. And you'll take the right hand down to the ground and lower the right hip. See if you can grab the outer right foot with the left hand and start to work. Now be gentle with yourself, but work the right leg straight. You could be anywhere along the way here. Good. Be gentle with yourself. We're just stretching the hamstrings, the hips, and the shoulders a little bit. Perfect. Okay, so if you're in compass, go ahead and re-bend that right knee. Okay, so we're going to work into the arm balance from here. From here, keep the right hand planted, take your left hand down, and take your left ankle and cross it over your right ankle. Good, just like this. You're going to plant the palms and think, before you come into this pose, think about chaturanga arms. Good. You can stay in stage 1 as well. Take the hands down. Good. Now, what you're going to do is lift the pelvic floor up, shift your weight forwards, start to lift the hips up, and extend the legs out to the right. It looks a lot more complicated than it actually is. So maybe, once I got out of my own way on this one, it happened pretty easily. Good. When you're ready, come back to center. Lower yourself down. Good. Bring the soles of your feet together. Baddha Konasana. Fold forwards. And if you don't get up into the pose, or if you're terrified, be okay with being scared. Be okay with getting scared and being scared. It's part of being human. So to be brave is sort of a facade, actually. So we're not here to be brave, we're here to be courageous, which means sometimes being courageous is just being okay with being scared. Press yourself up, and sometimes it means you walk right through the fire. Extend your right leg out to the right. Good. And then go ahead and lift your left foot up and cradle it like a baby. Just to keep both sides even, I'm going to do this one with you as well. And then go ahead and take your right leg to center. And start to take your left leg up and over the left shoulder. The left hip may lift for a moment, that's fine. Plant the left hip and plant the left hand. You'll grab the outer left foot with the right hand. And from here, start to extend the left leg out to the left. You're in compass pose. Start to spiral the heart up towards the ceiling. I usually keep a little bit of a bend in my knees in any hamstring stretch, so you might want to bear that in mind if you tend to lock your joints. Lengthen through the left side body. Good. And then go ahead and re-bend the left knee. Re-bend the left knee. Good. Plant your left hand down. The fingertips face forwards. Good. And now you're going to put a little bend in the right knee and cross the right ankle over the left ankle. That's it. And then from here, you're welcome to just sit and meditate if this is freaking you out in any way. Start to lift the hips up and extend the legs out to the left. That's it, Amanda. You're getting it. Totally. That's it. Totally, that's it. Nice. Very nice. Come back to center. Sit the hips down. Come back to Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. Fold forwards. Beautiful, beautiful work. Press yourselves up. Bring your knees together and come onto your back. You made it. And see, here's the thing is, that's just what always happens. Isn't that the most amazing thing? Bend your knees, feet on the floor. Sometimes we get so psyched about something, so hyped about something, and it ends up it's like anticlimactic once it's done. Come on up to bridge pose. And so this is where we start to find a more even keel in life, where it's not so intense. It's just kind of like, wow. To experience it as maybe it feels intense, but to not be so reactive to the feelings that move through us. It's easier to move through, and then it's not such a big deal. All this stuff is kind of small stuff. The big stuff is like the day you're born and the day you die, and then there's all this other stuff that happens in between. But the big deal is what we make of it in our mind. Press the feet down, lift the hips up. Shoulder blades come together. So to be more at peace is actually anticlimactic. It's like, it's not that exciting. It's just peace. So we're getting off the roller coaster here. Unroll the shoulders, come down onto your back. Because when we start to swing one way, inevitably we're going to go the other way. Because where there's one, there's the other. So we're just kind of finding more of a harmony where the two work together. And there's always two. There's right and there's left, there's black and there's white. Come up to bridge or take Urdhva Dhanurasana. Press the feet down, press the hands down. Good, one more breath. Release, lower down, rest. Just lay here for a moment, keep your feet on the floor. One more, come on up. That's it. You want external rotation in the shoulders here, which means the elbows start to hug in a little bit towards each other. Good. And internal rotation with the legs means the inner feet press, and you could pretend like you had a block maybe between your legs to engage those inner leg muscles. Good. One more breath. Okay, tuck your chin, come onto your back. Bring your knees to your chest. Either take thread the eye of the needle pose, or if you like, you could rock yourself up to take double pigeon. Or pigeon, take your favorite hip stretch. And so to just be so cool with who you are and what you've done and where you're going. Everything that's ever been, everything that will be, and certainly everything that is perfect. If yoga is the transcendence of ego, the way of the heart is known to be one of the quickest ways. Because when we're in our heart, we're there. We're just there without thinking. And so it's a brilliant way, in my opinion, to master the mind, is to put your mind in your heart and experience life from that perspective. Switch sides, please, when you're ready. And so in this whole series, there's all of these different aspects, all of these different elements that are tools that help us move more into the heart of the experience. And so to be able to apply these skills, they're useful tools. I mean, pigeon's a useful tool, double pigeon. You know, your hip stretches are great for releasing your back, but courage is great for releasing your mind. And the reality is that the body will always be limited. Your physical body, it's only going to stretch so much. You know, your hips will only get so open and your handstand will only get so perfectly balanced. However, the power of the mind and the power of the heart are infinite, infinitely expansive, infinite potential. So you can let go and completely open your mind to do that. I mean, I'm not there yet. I've got a ways to go. It's a practice, but there's far more possibility within the mind and the heart, and far more power. So to be really humble with what you're working with in the physical realm, and be really willing to let go and open into the other parts of life that we can't see, can be a really amazing way to live. Because then we open the doors to infinite possibility. When you open the doors to infinite possibility, whatever you like, follow your dreams. Press yourselves up. Come to sit with your legs straight in front of you. And take Paschimottanasana here. Flex the feet, reach the arms up, and fold forwards. And so to bring it back to taking it with the spirit of childhood, you know, take it with the spirit that a kid has. You know, when we were young, before we knew what we couldn't do and what we could do, we would just try anything, you know, like that kind of spirit. Again, with the wisdom of everything that you do understand about life and your ethics in relationship to everything else, for certain. Press yourselves up and come to sit with your legs crossed. Reach your arms up. And we're just going to finish with a little twist here. Take a twist to the right. Left hand to the right knee right. Fingertips to the floor behind you. Come back to center, arms up. Twist to the other side. Good. Come back to center, arms up, reach up. Exhale, the palms connect in front of your heart. Close your eyes. And just take a moment to thank yourself, thank your body, thank your family, your friends, your teachers. because each and every one of us and each and every experience is a lesson, an opportunity to grow and transform and certainly move forward courageously. Lift your heart, bow your head. Feel free to take a generous shavasana for those of you at home. Namaste.